Hey, this is Daniel Posney, and this is called Shifting Perspectives. And this is where I kind of meet up with you guys, or I'm recording for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the topic. And a lot of times I don't really know what the topic is, just kind of I let myself, get out of the way and see what spirit wants to, talk about. So this one is I just finished my 7-day juice and water fast. So you might see, got my hair cut, my face is probably looking a lot thinner. I lost 10 pounds. And so I want to go through what that was like and the things that I need to look out for, be aware of, and what the benefits were. So why did I do it? There's so many reasons why I do a fast every once in a while. One big one is I want to have more control over my body and what I want to eat. I know that sounds weird because you go, well, I want to eat a burger and have a beer, or I want to have a margarita, or I want to have a cinnamon roll or something. If you really look at it, and this is all part of this work that we're doing, is who is it that wants this? And it's kind of it's just an ongoing practice of separating out who you are from your own mind and its own patterns and copings and all these things. So for me, for all of us, really, when we want sweets, there's a trigger emotionally in there somewhere. And from what I understand, wanting sweets is about getting some kind of reward. Like, your grandmother gives you a little candy. Oh, good job. Here's a little, I baked you something. So it's that kind of inner desire for love and nurturing, that kind of thing. And then all the butters and the breads. The breads are another comfort food to make us feel safe. Even chips, because chips have salt on them. When we crave a salt, we're craving something crunchy. And in that crunchiness, we're kind of frustrated. We want to bite down on something. So when you start looking at this, it really starts to make sense. And it starts to kind of open up the door of who's doing this, who's wanting this stuff. I thought it was me, but it is me if I think about like the whole person me. But if you separate all the different aspects of me, my mind, my loving presence, my heart, then you start to realize that the only one that really wants that stuff is some kind of coping mechanism in my mind. And that's all okay. It's just that sometimes it gets overwhelming and out of control, and it leads to obesity and depression and all this stuff. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm going to be juicing for the rest of my life. And I really look forward to eating food. And I love king crab legs and I love good tasting beer. But I need to get some control back into myself over my body. So that's one big real reason. But also the effects of a fast are super clarity. My eyes got really clear. I feel more svelte, if that's the name, or more lean. It feels like I kind of sucked into myself, and my face kind of sucked in, and all that extra stuff where I thought that I was doing okay, but then when you do this, you can see how your body reacts to it, and all that fogginess went away. So that was really cool. I saved a lot of money. I don't know where you're at, but in Sedona, it's hard to get out of having dinner somewhere without paying at least 25 bucks, if not 50 bucks. And if you go out with your beloved, it's going to be over $100 if you have some decent food. So I know that I saved some money, and I'm kind of a little apprehensive about going back through my finances and seeing how much I actually spend on food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all that stuff. But I may not even look at that because I know it's hundreds of dollars. So I know that in the week that I've been doing this, I've just been juicing, and I did spend probably 40, 50 bucks on juices or smoothies to kind of get me through a busy day. But most of it was just water and juice. So what else about that? I started to have epiphanies, really clear, colorful dreams. Everything just starts to open up. I know that it has some effect on my physiological, any illnesses or diseases and things like that. Like when I first started, I've been having this nasal thing going on, I've had it checked out and thought it was sinusitis, but then apparently it's not. And I couldn't really narrow down what it was, but what the doctor said was, well, you're just allergic to everything. So we're just going to have you come in for these essentially injections and treatments and, steroids and all that stuff. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I'm allergic to all this stuff, and all you can do is just promote injections. And I asked her, what about diet? What about my nutrition? Oh, yeah, that does play a part. And then I want to go back. What about parasites? So that's the other thing that I've been doing during this whole thing is a parasite cleanse. So it's, I hope this man forgives me for not remembering his full name, but his name is Marcus, Markus. If you look out there for really healthy stuff, and Marcus and his wife, he's over 60 years old, looks like he's 20 or 30. And I bought his parasite cleanse for 3 months. I've been doing this. So I figured it might benefit the amount of money that I spent on that, and get rid of more parasites if I were to go on a juice cleanse as opposed to just normal eating the way I've been doing. And it just kind of turbocharges the parasite cleanse. The other thing that I had going on is I had a little, what looked like a tremor in my hand, that my hand was shaking, and had it checked out by neurologists. And they were all thinking that I had my layer of my skull here between my brain and my skull was getting thinner. At least that was one of the indications, and that I might have pre-Parkinson's kind of thing. And inside I felt like it's not really that, it's something else. And what I came to is that's my mouse holding hand. And you're always in this position of holding the mouse. So once I got rid of the mouse, I don't have shaky hand anymore. And it used to be that when I moved my thumb over this way, the whole thing would start to tremble. But now I can move my thumb this way. And ever since the fast, it's just gotten even better. The other thing is that I've had every once in a while lower back pain. I've had these knee pains, inflammation behind and on the side of my knee. I've had this nerve thing where it kind of, the nerve on the side on the interior of my knee would kind of pop out and get out of position, which is all related to my hips and my ankles and all that. And the chiropractic really helped that. But I've noticed that through the fast that all that stuff just kind of went away. What else? There's no coughing. My eyesight's gotten better. I think I mentioned that. It's hard to go back and see all the things that were wrong, because I'm not feeling anything right now. So it's kind of weird and very cool. So I want to go through the notes that I shared. So if you're not on Facebook and looking at my notes, which is totally fine, I want to share with you what the day-to-day was. So tough first day due to wanting snacks while working or doing things. Got through it with 3 veggie juices. Usually this is the toughest day, we'll see. So the first day was tough because, there's a habit that I would get into, like all of us, and you're on the road and you get a bag of chips or some cookies or crackers or whatever, or you're waiting for something and you're snacking on something. It's just this habitual thing that you're not really hungry, although it does feel good to you, just to release that need to snack on something and chew something and have something in my stomach. So that was almost as tough as having an empty stomach for a while. It's just that habitual thing. If you're alone at home, you got the day off or something, what are you going to do? Watch TV, but you're going to watch TV with some kind of snack in front of you, or you're going to be working on something and you want to have something to drink or eat, and all that stuff, you got to be with yourself. So let's see, finished day 2, tough getting to, they went to a gathering, and really cool people, really health conscious people, healers and practitioners and things. And they had this spread of amazing, healthy, organic food. And my wife, Valerie, brought some roasted broccoli or Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, and there were deviled eggs. Oh my gosh, deviled eggs. And I couldn't have any, so I had a hot tea. And that was tough because all the food, it wasn't like greasy burgers, that stuff like, oh yeah, I don't want that. It was stuff that was really good for me, but I needed to be strong. So that was the challenging day. As far as weight, I weighed myself at 168, and then I weighed myself again. It was 169. And then I weighed myself later in the day, and it was 163. So how I lost 5 pounds by, I didn't have a bowel movement. I didn't do anything different with this, but just drink juice. So what I found is not necessarily how much food you eat. It's the food that creates a ketosis in your body or does the opposite, it seems like. And I would also say that there's some kind of energy, through breath, through gases being released, that there's some kind of weight being released that way too. I found that sometimes when you're sitting in front of the TV and you're watching a movie and you haven't eaten anything all day, and you have a bowl of popcorn, you gain 5 pounds. I didn't eat 5 pounds of popcorn, but yet there's that weight gain. So go figure. So I couldn't really, be satisfied with the results on the scale yet, because it was just kind of wonky until it kind of evened out. Day three was my toughest day because I didn't do an enema, which is highly recommended. And because what happens as you're kind of shrinking things down, all the toxins are coming out of your innards, and they're wanting to be flushed out. But if you've got no food and material kind of pushing that thing through, like, what I think about is back in the 70s or 80s, they used to have these pins, and they had little lead plastic, like a lead topped plastic piece. And it had like 10 or 20 inside there. And what you did is you took one out and you pressed another one in, and it kind of pushed it down to the end of the pencil. So every time you needed a new lead, you just put another one of these things in and push the next one. And it's kind of like these coin sliding games. So the thing is sliding back and forth, and the more that you stack in there, the more chance you can get. That's how your bowels kind of work. It looks like is, you have some food go down there, it kind of brings everything in with it, and then it flushes it out through your colon and through your poop. So if you're not doing that, all that stuff is kind of stuck in your system. So they have these supplements that you can take. They're it's like a bowel movement kind of thing, where it attracts all the toxins, and then you take another flusher and it flushes it out your system. So before I did that, I was starting to have some really intense pains, and all I could do was lay on the couch and just be in that pain. So I'm watching the movie and I'm sweating, I'm hot, and this is me trying to detox. And I took a hot shower, I took a hot steam sauna, and it helped, but it didn't really get rid of the things that were inside of my body until Valerie came home and she gave me these supplements. I took a couple of those. I took ibuprofen, and then I took the kind of the flushing thing, the flushing supplement. And after that was done, had a little bowel movement, and it felt so much better, and the pain was gone. So that was my toughest day because of all the toxins that have accumulated. And I don't really have a toxin-filled diet, but sugars and stuff that I don't know that's in the food that I'm eating, all that stuff tends to accumulate, much less the stuff that's in the environment. There's toxins in the environment, so you really can't get away from it. Let's see, day 4. Let's see, had some more juice. No fruit juice yet, because the fruit juice has a lot of sugar in it, so I was just trying to stay with veggie stuff. Turmeric. There's a turmeric tea that you can drink, and that's also a good detoxer. So I drank a bunch of that, and that really helped out. So at that point, I lost 8 pounds. Day 5, I started to get lots of energy, and it was like, I didn't know what to do with all the energy. And it was a good thing that I had a rest day beforehand, but I still was doing sessions. So I was really conscious about energy levels and not kind of overdoing it and things. But it felt so good to have that much energy. By the time I got to day 6, I still had lots of energy, but I was starting to feel like I needed to talk slower. Like if I got into a conversation in the normal speed, my mouth couldn't keep up. So I needed to really take a breath, slow down, and be really conscious of the words that I wanted to use. So that was something I was really aware of. And on that day, I happened to have two hikes with someone. So I had it's called a Heart Awakening land journey with someone where we hiked out about 45 minutes and we had this deep conversation out on the rocks, and it was awesome. And then we needed to hike back. And then half an hour after that, I had another 2-hour hike, which was a drumming ceremony. So I went out to the same place, took this other person to the same place, and we did the ceremony and drumming and didgeridoo, and it was awesome. And I was amazed how I was able to do that much hiking and, expression and talking with no food in my body for 6 days at that point. So again, I was just juicing in water. By the time the seventh day, yesterday came around, you know what, it really felt like I could do this for a long time. And it was feeling that good that I really didn't need the food in my body. I missed the chewing and, like I said, the habitual kind of thing. But as far as what my body needed for energy, unless I was, digging ditches or something, I really didn't need that much energy to, somehow replace with the food. But, Valerie's like, well, but I would like to go to dinner. So my thought was that I was going to do the fast and then take a few days break, and then we're going to go on a camping trip. And during the camping trip, we want to barbecue something, or want to, put together some potatoes and stuff like that. And it's going to, feel real good. But she wants to go to dinner in between that time, where at least before she leaves on her 21-day water fast down in Costa Rica. So I totally get it. So I'm going to come off the fast, and I was going to, come back to light eating. When she goes to Costa Rica, I'm going to get back on the fast and see how I can do for 21 days. We'll see. I know I can do 7 days. I think I've done 9 days as the longest. Seems like where I was at yesterday that I could do that, as long as my mind doesn't take over. So I think that's all I got. I'll show you what it looks like. This is what the body looks like. So you might remember what the body looked like before. It was decent, but now there's my body has kind of taken the fat out of it. The fat is out of my skin. My shoulders feel, a little bit more bone showing there. If I raise my arms up, I can see my ribs, but I feel great. I feel like I can go another couple pounds, but I'm at 157 now. So I lost 11 pounds total. So I hope that helps. And it feels great. I just had some breakfast this morning. Just had a couple of eggs and some toast. And it really felt like it was too much food. And again, my mind wanted to eat the food, and it felt good to put it in my mouth and eat it. But afterwards, I was thinking, I really felt better, before I ate the food. But so I'm just going to take care of myself, eat light, and let that all process. So that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for listening, and bless you.